Hello and welcome back to another episode of John Fair Things. I'm your host, Doug Duggan. This is a show where we take deep dives into history's most disturbing events, personality, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and true crime. Today, we continue our study on Ted Bundy, perhaps America's most notable prolific serial killer and renowned even the world abroad. Now, up to this date, we have covered his childhood, we covered his crime spree and mentality behind it, and we also covered his arrests and his escapes. That leaves us now with his high-profile trials and the aftermath of those trials. Now, Bundy's high-profile trials were a spectacle, drawing intense media attention and public fascination. Now, he's put on trials in various states, including Colorado, Washington, and Florida. Now, his charisma and intelligence made him a formidable adversary in the courtroom where he was his own defense attorney, using the platform to manipulate proceedings and attempt to cast doubt on the evidence against him.
I don't have the exact wording down here yet.
What, if you can recall, was the next thing you said to me or that I said to you after we had the discussion? Well, pardon me, let's back up to the question you asked, what are you doing in my neighborhood, okay? What was my response, according to you?
You were lost.
Did I say anything else?
Not to my recollection.
At that time, I didn't say anything else to your recollection.
You said well, you was lost.
And what else did, if anything, did we discuss at that time that you can remember? Questions that you might have asked, for example.
I asked where you had been, and you told me that the drive-in theater seeing the Towering Inferno.
That occurred about the same time, and the stream of events we're talking about.
Probably a couple, two or three things there.
Okay. Was that before you started shining your flashlight in the windows?
That was before.
Now, were you familiar with any drive-in theater in the neighborhood?
Yes, I am.
Did you know whether or not the drive-in movie was playing there?
Yes, I did.
At that time?
Yes, sir.
What did you know?
I sent the one trooper back out to check the marquee
When did you send him out?
while we were still there or immediately following.
So you didn't know for sure that that movie was not playing there at that time. That's what I'm getting at. Is that true or not?
No, I was sure, but to make positive in my own mind, I'd been patrolling that movie in that area most of that night.
And what's the next thing or question that you asked or response that I gave you prior to the time that you started examining the interior of the car with your flashlight? Is there anything else you said to me?
Not that I recall.
Anything else I said to you?
Before I,
Left me at the rear or the front of your car with Officer Fowles and you began examining the car. Anything else you can recall?
no, the only recall is I asked you if you'd stand by my right front fender.
Let's return now to your process of looking in the car with your flashlight. You've described the crowbar, seat being out, and the satchel. Is there anything else in the interior of the car that caught your attention?
The missing seat, the crowbar, and the satchel were the main things that I saw.
Okay. What did you do after you completed your looking in the car?
That's when I called for a detective car from the county.
Okay. And how did you summon the detective car?
By radio.
Why did you summon it?
Sustained objection. No, that's not considered. Why is something?
You summoned it by radio?
Yes.
And this was it a Salt Lake County Sheriff's detective that you summoned?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the name of the officer that you called for a specific detective?
No, I just asked for a detective car.
Well,
Now, the evidence presented against Bundy was damning. We include eyewitness testimonies from survivors who had narrowly escaped his clutches, as well as physical evidence linking him to the crime scenes. Now, Bundy's infamous murder kit, which contained burglary tools, restraints, clothing, that was discovered in his car during his initial arrest. As we just witnessed in the previous segment where he was cross-examining the person who actually helped find those items. Now, despite Bundy's efforts to delay and disrupt the legal process, he was eventually convicted in several trials. Now, the ultimate outcome of these convictions was a series of death sentences, as Bundy's crimes were deemed among the most heinous and cold-blooded in American history. Now, Bundy's fate was sealed, but the public was far from finished with his story. His execution, which took place in the electric chair at Florida State Prison on January 24, 1989, marked the end of a long, chilling chapter in true crime history. Now, the public reaction to Bundy's execution was mixed. Some saw it as necessary and just punishment for his horrific crimes, while others were morbidly curious, turning the event into a media spectacle. Bundy's case had already left an indelible mark on American culture, and his execution was no exception. Well, Ted Bundy occupies a unique and dark place in the annals of serial killers. His crimes were marked not only by their brutality, but by also his ability to fight the stereotypical image of a serial killer. Handsome, charismatic, and intelligent, traits that made him a master of deception and manipulation. In the world of true crime, Bundy's story continues to captivate and horrify. The enduring fascination with him can be attributed to several factors. First, the sheer number of victims. The audacity of his crimes are difficult to comprehend. Bundy's ability to blend into society and fool those around him adds an unsettling layer to his legacy. Second, Bundy's portrayal in popular culture has played a significant role in keeping his story alive. Books, documentaries, and films have depicted his life and crimes, sometimes glamorizing him in the process. Now, this has sparked intense debate about the ethics of sensationalizing serial killers and the responsibility of media in true crime narratives. One that's not missed on me who makes such content. Third, Bundy's case has been instrumental in the study of criminal psychology. His dual personality, such as charm, sadistic violence, has fueled ongoing debates about the sources of psychopathy and whether it can be recognized and treated before it escalates to violence. Now, the question whether Bundy's upbringing, social factors, or inherent psychopathy contributed most to his crimes remains a topic of discussion among experts. Some argue that the early warning signs were missed or ignored, while others emphasize the role of biology and genetics in creating a serial killer. In terms of lessons learned, Bundy's case has highlighted the importance of vigilant law enforcement and effective cooperation among different agencies. His escapes and the subsequent fallout exposed the vulnerabilities in a prison system that have since been addressed and improved. Additionally, Bundy has underscored the need for public awareness of the tactics used by manipulative individuals, educating the public about the signs of potential danger and encouraging them to trust their instincts, which can help prevent future tragedy. Now, as we conclude our journey into the twisted mind of Ted Bundy, it's crucial to remember that while he may have left a horrifying legacy, his victims should be honored, remembered above all else. Their stories remind us of the importance and vigilance of compassion and the ongoing pursuit of justice. Ted Bundy's legacy is a chilling reminder of the capacity for evil that can exist in the human psyche. Until next time, move this back. This is your host, Doug Duncan, reminding you that once you enter the dock, you never be the same.